Welcome back to another GBL video. Today we're going to be featuring Pidgeot, Cresselia, and Cobalion. So the idea is Pidgeot as a lead to potential threaten the Brave Birds, and then safe swap is Cresselia, and then the Pidgeot or with the Cobalion is generally the idea there. So terrible lead, we immediately switch out into the Cresselia. They throw chip damage. They're probably going to dip out here. Could be another Cresselia, I don't know. Could be something else. Okay, they're deciding to stay in. Nice catch by my opponent. I thought I threw at a really random time, but maybe it was well-timed. They just know me. All right, inefficient grass knot right there. We need to get to at least 2 Moonblast here. We do notice that this Giratina is running Dragon Breath. They decided to shield. Does that mean that they're triple weak to this Cresselia? I don't know, but we know that we can eventually switch into our Pidgeot soon after this Moonblast, maybe? Do we allow them to farm us down? Let's find out. We go for another Moonblaster to get more chip damage, and right now we're forcing them to use energy. So now the idea is to potentially farm down this Giratina with the Pidgeot, I believe. It is in farm down range, I believe. Dragon Breath Giratina generally don't run Ancient Power, but of course any team could be different. At this point, I believe we're gonna one shield farm down and bank that they don't have Ancient Power, I believe. Okay, so yeah, Dragon Breath Giratina usually run Dragon Claw and Shadow Sneak, so we kind of just bank it on that. We have tons of energy on this Pidgeot now. We can basically Brave Bird and dip against anything. So they bring in the Wall Ring back. Unfortunately for us, it looks like we get a little bit of a hard counter in the back here. This Toxicroak is going to do so much just counter damage, and it's going to be able to get to this Mud Bomb. It's going to be able to control the pacing of this back end here. Maybe we survive a Mud Bomb here. Okay, we do survive, and we get to another Sacred Sword, which is just going to do some chip damage. Unfortunately, I don't see how we can win this, because not only do we need to farm this Toxicroak down, but we need to throw 2 moves at this Wall Ring in the back, and plus, this Pidgeot is pretty low health. And now, oh man, not even the Feather Dance could take it out. So yeah, this is GG's, and they have a shield. Maybe if we didn't throw inefficient Grass Knot at that Giratina, we would have been able to throw 2 Moonblasts pretty quickly, and then maybe we swapped out and then, kind of doing some switches. So I think the play of the game right there was that they caught a Grass Knot, an inefficient Grass Knot, and I used all that energy on the Giratina when I could have used it maybe on the Wall Rain or potentially the Toxicroak. So GG's to our opponents right there. Good play. Okay, interesting Ultra League. Como. We decide to switch out to the Cobalion because our hard counter to that Como is the Cresselia. We decide to switch into our Cobalion, and they decide to switch into their Reggie. Not the correct switch, in my opinion, unless they're just gonna double shield, I guess. We're just gonna be applying so much fast move damage, and then we get to these Sacred Swords so quickly that we should be able to win this, even with the debuff right there. So already, you know that they're protecting their Dragon type with the Reggie Steel, which makes sense. But yeah, we're gonna be able to win this if they just allow us to let it go. This is probably a Focus Blaster. We decided to shield it. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to farm it down because they were getting close to another Focus Blast, and we didn't want to risk that, so we decided to throw a move here to force them to use a Blast Shield or let us maintain and flip the switch. So we decide to immediately switch out because we know that the Cresselia can do really well against the Como. And so we decided to switch out because we technically have 2 counters to the Como. But they decided to counter swap into the Red Rock, which is going to do some huge damage. because our Brave Bird goes through, and this is probably the Stone Edge. Yep, perfect. So this is a better situation for us because now we have the Cresselia and this Cobalion to work with in the back end. This Regirock has to go for the Focus Blast here. We're gonna go for the Sacred Sword. We do get a shield out of them. Okay, and regardless of what happens here, we're in a very good spot because they go for the Zap Cannon. Does the Regirock not want to run Focus Blast there? So we did get fortunate that I guess they're running Zap Cannon version, which is fine. Maybe he doesn't know Focus Blast. We'll have to check that. Okay, so we know that this Cresselia is going to do really well against this Como-O. The Como-O is double weak to this Moonblaster, actually one-hit KO. And then because of this Regirock only knowing Zap Cannon and Stone Edge, we're going to be able to take it out with the Grass right there. So GG's to our opponents. Bad lead, and then we were able to kind of flip it around. So they had Reggie and they had Regirock. I guess because we came in with our Reggie, or we came in with safe swap into our Cobalion, they had to go in with their Reggie still. I guess they could have chip damaged, but okay. Nonetheless, we go on to the next game. We're gonna face a Defense Deoxys Ultra League. Pretty cool that Defense Deoxys can even get to Ultra League status. It takes a ton of resources and a ton of XLs. It is gonna be running Rock Slide and potentially Psycho Boost. Here we're gonna be throwing Brave Bird or potentially right when they get to Psycho Boost, but unfortunately they did not throw on CMP there because they got a counter through, and so that means that they are able to keep farming us. We throw another move here because we know that they're gonna counter be close to another move, and they decide to counter us down. We do get a shield, okay, and then we decide to potentially come in with the Cresselia, but they counter swap, and then we counter swap. We know that this Ultra League Drapion potentially knows Crunch and Sludge Bomb. We kind of bank that they're not running Flamethrower. That would be absolutely horrible. But usually these Ultra League Drapions are running the Crunch and Sludge Bomb variant. So we're not shielding any of these. They reveal that they have Crunch, so that means that they're most likely also running Sludge Bomb. We resist all the charge moves, thankfully, and now we just apply the pressure. We're just going to go for all these Sacred Swords. Remember, they have a ton of energy on their Defense Deoxys, so they're probably going to try to bank the entire game on that Defense Deoxys, eventually switching out to try to reset the debuffs. Oh, okay, so they had Aqua Tail and Crunch. So both moves would only be neutral at best. Okay, this is going to be probably the Defense Deoxys, right? So they go for the Defense Deoxys switch in here, and let's see, do we catch a Psycho Boost? Could they potentially do Psycho Boost and dip? Okay, so that's not the case. They decide to come in with their Obstacle in the back here. This Obstacle has an uphill battle to go through because not only is this Cresselia not taking super effective from the fast moves, but we have the Moonblast advantage. We do have two shields, so this is looking great for us. They're going to be able to get to these Night Slashes. We're hoping for no boost. Okay, we avoid the first no boost, which is fantastic. We're going to tank the second move here because just in case they get this boost, we're going to be able to shield the rest. And we know that their fast moves are not doing any damage to us. We're going to continue applying the pressure and going for this Moonblast. We want this last shield. Okay, decided to use the last shield. We try to do a quick switch in and then throw a move. But unfortunately for us, they were able to get to a move. But we were able to catch an inefficient Night Slash. They're probably running Night Slash and Obstruct because why wouldn't they throw a Cross Chop right there, right? They definitely... Okay, so they decide to throw the Night Slash here, and because they have no shields and we had two shields available, this is going to be GG's. What I was going to say is, They potentially could have cross chop, but maybe they didn't think that they can get to another cross chop, and so they had to jump out. But it didn't seem like I switched in to the point where they couldn't think about throwing the right move. Maybe we just got lucky and they kind of panicked and they decided to throw a Night Slash, because they ended up throwing at least one counter before they threw that Night Slash. Okay, so we move on to the next game here. This team is kind of good in that it's bulky, but I don't know. This Pidgeot, I have trouble sometimes figuring out when to throw the Brave Bird or not. Is definitely the trickiest thing. So this matchup here, we are going to stay and just throw the Brave Bird eventually, because obviously it's not good to throw the Brave Bird immediately. Well, oh, this is actually running Future Sight. This is a Future Sight Cresselia. So this tells me that we should just stay in with this Pidgeot and do as much damage as possible, because we're going to be able to come in with our own Cresselia and be able to either farm it down or definitely get a lot of energy, because we know that... Oh, wow. That was huge. 2 Brave Birds almost takes out the Cresselia. Do we ever shield here? We were thinking about it, but we decided to let it go. But like I said, we're going to come in with the Cresselia here and just try to get a ton of energy. Maybe farm it down? No. Unable to farm it down. Unfortunate. We're going to be tanking a Moonblast here. Obviously, we don't want to go in with the Cobalion, because even though they're resisted, it's taking unnecessary damage right there. Okay, this is horrible. This Talonflame in the back is a core breaker for our backline here. Unless we can get a Stone Edge off. We know that they're staying in here, so we go for the bait. Okay, they potentially know that we have a Stone Edge here. Okay, we get the first shield. They're getting to their second flame charge here. We have to shield here because our only play against this is to double shield here, and we want to make sure we at least threaten that last shield. Let's see if they call this. Okay, so now it's a race. Oh, what a play by my opponent. Great catch by my opponent. We got an inefficient Stone Edge thrown at the Obstagoon in the back. Their Talonflame was just able to sneak away. Okay, we get a debuff here. This is huge. We could have thrown the move right there, but because this is a debuffed... oh, they go for the Obstruct. Do they not have Night Slash? I'm not sure if that was the play. Why go for the Obstruct right there? Do they not have Night Slash? Is this a cross chop Obstruct? Oh no, they did have the Night Slash. Okay, interesting play by my opponent right there. I'm not exactly sure if going for the Obstruct right there was the right play, even though they had a clear win condition. Here we're trying to catch a move. We weren't sure if they're gonna throw right there or not. Unfortunately for us, it is gonna be able to take us out. Well played by my opponent. That was a very tricky team there, running the unconventional Future Sight on the Cresselia, and then the Obstruct on the Obstagoon. Yeah, if we had thrown the Stone Edge at the Talonflame, we definitely would have won, because we had the Cresselia with a ton of energy with their Obstagoon. So their one win condition was to catch the move. Congrats to them. We move on. Next we have Shadow, Nidoqueen, and Ultra League. Remember, potentially Nidoqueens and Ultra League are running Stone Edge and Poison Fang, or they could be running Poison Fang Earth Power. Kind of hard to tell. We go for the Brave Bird right here. Okay, and we get the Brave Bird off. Here we're gonna let it go because this is... Oh, never mind. We do decide to shield because we want to farm it down. That Nidoqueen was running the Stone Edge, and we were able to shield that Stone Edge. We decided to switch into our Cobalion here against their Wall Rain. This Wall Rain switch-in was kind of interesting. I guess they were trying to like get a couple of fast move damage off or something. Okay, Shadow Wall Rain there was not able to KO, but we lag a little bit right there. Unfortunately for us, we get taken out by the GBL lag. we had the move available, and now we have no choice but to come in with our Pidgeot. This Pidgeot is gonna probably be taken out here. Okay, we decided to shield, never mind. So I think the thinking right now is we want to keep this Pidgeot alive because we know that their Nidoqueen is very low. And the fact that the Nidoqueen is very low, we could potentially farm it down. But we also need a way to reset any debuffs potentially. Here we decide to go in and potentially threaten the Brave Bird against that Shadow Politoed, I think. And GG's to our opponents right there. Check out this team. Let us know if you're going to be using it, and let us know if you liked the video.